again, everyone. Thank you, Miriam, for this presentation. My goal during this 20-25 minutes is to present you an overview of the collaborative economy, to explain you the rise globally of this huge shift of paradigm in the world, and how is it changing it. But before going into that deeply, I would like to share with you a story. The story of a very grassroots experiment. There you go. The story of OuiShare, the movement which I belong to, and so as Miriam. So 4 years ago, it started with a blog on collaborative consumption in France with a hashtag. And this hashtag was used by a lot of people and a lot of bloggers in the world. So people started exchanging online and talking about this new emerging business model that they were witnessing. 1 year after, they started gathering in kitchen and in living rooms all over the world. This is the birth of OuiShare in Paris. It was just about drinking and eating cheese and just talking about what was happening in the innovative models. Then, 1 year after that, meetings in real life and sharing thoughts on Facebook and on online groups, we had a name, OuiShare. Yes, OuiShare. It means yes in French. So we decided to start a non-profit to gather this movement and start talking about the collaborative economy. It went very fast after that. The first meetup OuiShare doing, like the one we're going to have today afterwards, started in Paris, and meanwhile people were connecting across the globe to exchange their theories and their thoughts. What happened next is the first summit in Paris 6 months ago. About 30 nationalities gathered in Paris from all these bloggers and thought leaders of the collaborative economy to talk about the future of OuiShare and what they wanted to do with this non-profit. Afterwards, the community spread really fast. These drinks happened in a lot of local communities with many Facebook groups in special themes of the collaborative economy, like housing, food, labs, etc., starting to really get bigger on Facebook. And that's what we are today. Basically, we are a platform connecting people and organizations through a collaborative society. We are today about 1,500 members, among them 80 active members like me and Miriam, connecting people locally or on theoretical thematics. And we are in approximately 35 cities. Here's an overview of what we do. We build communities, as I told you, global network of local communities. We are a think tank. We produce knowledge on the collaborative economy. We also incubate projects among the whole community. And we have an education part where we teach classes and create interactive courses in working spaces. Just to give you some quick examples on the projects we do. The flagship event project that we have is the OuiShare Fest. It's the main collaborative economy gathering. It's a 3-day festival about innovation, co-creation, the future of society in the collaborative economy, so it takes place in Paris. We basically co-create together our own workshops, connect with people. This is like the French Ministry of Digital. And we celebrate, of course, because it's fun, even if I'm really theoretical and not really fun right now, but it is. In the think tank, we have a lot of research and studies. We also have an online magazine where we produce articles and thoughts about the collaborative economy. And we have this great project called Territories. It's basically a toolkit that we are developing to address local territories to help them implement collaborative economy initiatives like co-working spaces, financing startups, developing incubators, and so on. The Do Thank part, it's all the projects that we incubate and foster among the members of our community. So we have, this year we are launching an accelerator of our collaborative projects, shared in Paris, Berlin, and Barcelona. We also have the first open source sustainability accelerator. Basically, it's going to be launched this summer, hopefully, if we raise the money, because as a non-profit, we rely on partnerships. So this open sourcing sustainable accelerator called POC21, like proof of concept. It's linked to the COP21 conference on the climate taking place in Paris at the end of the year. So the idea is to accelerate during 5 years a lot of open source projects in a castle, and to help them foster and accelerate the project. The idea is to make kind of an IKEA catalog of open source projects. So like furnitures that you can design yourself and make in makerspace and hackerspace, like we're gonna see later on. The last part is education. So we are creating a hub for educational resources led by Spain. We develop MOOCs, like Miriam said, and we teach classes in many universities. So I believe you must be wondering at that time what exactly is the collaborative economy. Just a quick question, how many of you have never heard of Airbnb or Uber? Okay, I have one person. This is great. Well, so this framework describes the collaborative economy. Basically, we define it as all the practices and business model based on communities and empowered by the digital revolution. It basically is a matter of disruption, and we're going to go through all these topics so I can explain you examples all around the world about this collaborative economy. The collaborative economy, despite being platforms enabling people to share, is also the shift to this paradigm, to this one, basically to hierarchical institution, and where power is vertical, to horizontal distributed communities where power belongs to the many, and it makes a huge difference. This is the major change of the collaborative economy. The main sector that has been impacted, of course, and the first visible is the consumption. What is collaborative consumption? We also call it sharing economy. You must have heard this name many times. It basically describes all this new way of consuming where we value access over ownership, and it's transforming the way we share, swap, trade, rent, and lend goods or services. We try to analyze and divide the collaborative consumption in 4 main blocks, from redistribution to local food system and product services. Basically, in redistribution block, you find some platforms that, sorry. You are very familiar with this platform, which is in France is the most famous platform about sharing access. It's called Le Bon Coin, but it's from Blocket, I believe. Sorry, it's Blocket is in Sweden, but it's Swedish. So basically, this platform, this redistribution describes the platform enabling us to resell and swapping of goods. And for example, you have Etsy here, which is an e-commerce platform for handmade and vintage stuff. You can also find these trade school or street banks. These are initiatives where you can exchange services and skills. The second block is products and services. Basically, it's how we make excess use, how we make use of excess capacity, and for example, by renting a room on Airbnb. That's what Miriam was talking about, or sharing my empty seat in a car from a city to another one. So for example, BlaBlaCar was French, was born in France and is spreading all over Europe. We are going to see later on how much it's worth in terms of valuation. And you have Peerby, who allows you to share goods within your neighborhood. And the most famous example is like the drill. You use it 5 minutes in your whole life. So basically, this platform enables you to make a good use of a new stuff. The on-demand service are the most controversial part of the sharing economy. Basically, it's going to change. It changes already the way we have consume and we have access to things. And it includes the platform like Uber or TaskRabbit, where you can outsource your task like laundry or whatever to your neighborhood. So it's really important, but it's also very controversial because it's not really collaborative. So the last one is the local food systems. For example, this platform, it's also French, but it's spreading all over Europe, and it's called the Food Assembly. It basically enables you to buy from local producers and online, and then go into local shops where the producer come and you can take your food from there. You have also parts of food co-op. It's the first food co-op, like the one Miriam is starting to create, where you work in the association. You work 2 hours for 1 month, and then you have like a discount of 20 to 40% on the prices of the goods that you buy from the co-op. The co-working spaces are somehow in the middle of all these blocks because they are on-demand service, because you can go and rent a seat to co-work for 1 day or for the whole year. They also allow us to exchange and share our thoughts and our competences within the co-working space. Sorry, this just to go back. This is an initiative trying to gather all the co-working spaces in the world. So basically, you take okay. You pay for 1 year and you have access to co-working space all over the world. So basically, I want to work tomorrow in Thailand. I can go to a co-working space and with my Copass card. Jeremy Rifkin was the first one to make this prophecy in 2000 already, saying that today our social status depends more on access than on property. Just to give you an overview of the weight of this platform on the collaborative economy. Last year, in only 3 months, the big giants of the sharing economy, which is only the collaborative consumption, are now worth $18 billion for Uber, $10 billion for Airbnb. Lyft, which is a service equivalent to Uber, raised $250 million, and BlaBlaCar managed to expand all over Europe thanks to it was 100 million, but now it's 200. So it's really huge. This is a quick overview of the business models of the collaborative economy. So, sorry, this is in French, abonnement, subscriptions, thank you. Subscription, per use, commission, like Airbnb takes a commission when you rent a room. You have also freemium, so this is Le Bon Coin, the platforms of and peer buy, where basically it's free and it's but you can pay more to have more access. E-commerce, like Etsy or Vestiaire Collective, it's basically the same platform for renting clothes and so on. Advertisement, same on and user data, and the last one is non-profit, like trade school or street banks. These are just to finish on the sharing economy and the collaborative consumption. Is that it raises a lot of questions about the value redistribution, a lot of tensions, because the platforms that worth billions of dollars are concentrating values and reproducing the old classic business models. Do you have any question on the sharing economy before I move forward on the other topics? No? Okay. The peer-to-peer finance is another big block of the collaborative economy. It's the crowdfunding platform that Miriam told you about. So, for example, Kickstarter was the first crowdfunding platform, and in 5 years, it managed to raise $1.5 billion of investment in the project on the platform. You have also local crowdfunding, where you can invest in your bakery close in your neighborhood or a farm. And the last one is the equity crowdfunding, where you can invest in small enterprises. Besides the crowdfunding, you have an emerging movement called the peer-to-peer lending. It was born in France. These are two French platforms, and this one just had an IPO at the end of the year in the US. You can lend money from peer-to-peer. So I can lend money to Miriam, for example, without interest for this platform, or with the interest rate. So basically you can lend your debt. So it's very popular in the US for lending money to people who have a lot of credit card, a lot of money on their credit card debts. The last one is the peer-to-peer insurance. So today, individuals can gather in this platform, and you can mutualize your money and have a mutual insurance. The last block of the peer-to-peer finance is the complementary currencies. It describes the initiatives it's a complementary way of exchanging money. Today, money is just a way of valuing our exchanges. So these complementary currencies at a local level or at a global level, like cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin, allow us and allow businesses, for example, to exchange among them. It's very valuable especially in economy and locality, where you don't have a lot of money, and it allows you to create capital without the actual money. And some of these currencies are convertible into actual euros or dollars, so it's something huge. Simba is an actual complementary currency developed in France, in Paris. So another brick of the collaborative economy is the open knowledge part. It all began with the open source softwares like Linux or Wikipedia that you must all know. But it's spreading in a lot of sectors. So you have initiatives to open science license. Creative Commons is an open source license where you can share the documents you produce with the whole community who can have access to them. ShareLex is also an initiative to make law more accessible to people. And OpenStreetMap is the open source Google Maps. Basically, everyone can contribute to the map. And as an example, when they have been in IT, when they have been a catastrophe in IT, It helped a lot for the saviors to reach really far away location, because people were putting on OpenStreetMap where to go, and it was not available in Google Maps. This is a great initiative, an open source initiative. It's a map which identifies all the accessible location for people in wheelchairs. Of course, in the open source, the open knowledge part, you have all the education and open source MOOCs. For example, Khan Academy is a platform where you can have access to a lot of content and courses on videos, not only for university like the Coursera, who gives access to all university courses in open source, but to high school content. The open source, the open knowledge and open source movement leads us to open production that we are going to practice later on with you. Open source hardware describe all the tangible stuff that we can make, modify, and use in many locations like Fab Labs and Hackerspace and so on. It led to the whole maker movement and what some call the third revolution, industrial revolution, where basically it's all the do-it-yourself movement where people, no, never mind.
It's good.
So basically today you can make a lot of stuff thanks to open source plan that you can download or have access to. You can build electronics, clothing, furniture, bikes. You can also build your own energy. You have open plans for cars, for aerospace, architecture, and even biology. To give you, and of course it's possible because you have access to tools that you didn't have access before. What is changing is the Arduino that has made electronic accessible for a lot of people, and all these tools that are today cheaper and available locally in Fab Labs, Hackerspace, Makerspace. It's 3D printing, laser cutting, or CNC mining, making us able to use all the knowledge globally online to produce locally with these tools. This is all the types of places where you can produce locally all the open source hardware. So this is a picture of a makerspace or hackerspace, like the one we're going to go later on, and this is the whole Fab Lab network. A Fab Lab is basically a makerspace, but with a special sorry, I completely lost my English. With a special characteristic described by the MIT. So, like, you need to have all this to respect some characteristic to have the name of Fab Labs. But basically, it's just a makerspace. This is, for example, a platform where you can find free repair guides to repair everything yourself. So you just need to download them. Same thing here for a lot of tools. So you have a lot of digital stuff that you can design in your local hackerspaces. And this is the first open source 3D printer that you can replicate. And today you can make and design your own 3D printer by printing it. And so it's kind of funny. So this whole maker thing changed because we have access to global knowledge and with a decentralized production, which never happened before. Before we needed to go to factories that are located far away and so on. So now we're all able to make our own stuff locally. So it's very important in terms of sustainability, sustainable impact. This is an example. I'm going to just give you a quick example of things that are made open source and that you can produce in your local Fab Lab or makerspace. This is open source Beehive, an initiative to print Beehives open source. This is Open Desk. You can print your own furniture. Either you can download the plans and make them, or you can order and go to your local Fab Lab or hackerspace and ask them to make it. This is also WikiCar. Today, basically, we are able to build a car with open source plan and dividing the cost of a real car by 10. Same with WikiHouse. It's a project aiming to print, to have a construction set to build a home that you can print and make locally. And this is how the 3D printer wrap looks like. Not very pretty, but at least very cheap. The last very important part of the collaborative economy is the governance, open governance. Basically, it was what I was talking before about reinventing organization, shifting from very centralized, hierarchical way of managing and working with people to a very distributed way of functioning. So this is a very good book written by Frédéric Laloux, who analyzes about 20 organizations in the world that follow this paradigm, this new paradigm of distributed and horizontal governance. This is the CEO of Zappos, an e-commerce shoe platform that is very popular in the US, and who just implemented officially Holacracy. Holacracy is a theory about how to implement horizontal governance and not to have managers anymore, to distribute the power among all the employees. And all these companies, you can notice by are very successful. This is a tool, an example of a tool that we use to make collaborative decisions. For example, we work with it in OuiShare. When we need to make a decision, we just of course, it's free and open source, but we just go on this tool, raise the question among our groups, and then people vote. It's not, it's not changing the world. We don't reinvent stuff. We just reinvent the way we work together, and we use them to make that. It's not someone that makes a decision and imposes it to the rest, but a collaborative decision on budget, on strategy, everything. And in OuiShare, we work like this, and this is very refreshing. I've worked in a consulting company, and I really felt horrible because I felt something was not alright. I didn't like the way I was managed. I felt really cut in my creativity and all my entrepreneurship initiatives. In OuiShare, I can do that, and that's why the movement from very grassroots has expanded so fast in 3 years. It's because our governance is through actions. We don't have roles and titles that we need to fill, but we come with ideas, and our legitimacy comes from what we do. The trust a priori is very important. We believe that everyone has the capacity of working and enabling and realizing stuff. So it's okay to fail, it's okay to make mistakes, but you're going to make better. And with this value of trust, we really see the best coming of people. It's okay to have a mistake because you allow people to just repair it very easily. It relies also on the synergy principle, which is basically, do you see how ants function? They just have a way of communicating with each other very easily by leaving prints in their environment. Applied to an organization, it's the same. We just install a way of communicating very natural and efficient, thanks to online tools that enable us to do that, like Mumio or Slack or Trello. These are all online tools that we use to work together. And it just makes us save a lot of time and give access to information directly. So we are a distributed organization with the 3 connector rules. Yeah. This is the move from a hierarchy to consent. As a conclusion, I just wanted to share with you this overview of all the platforms we've been talking about. 4 years ago, it was a D system, just something made up to as an answer to the crisis. Today, this platform has experienced a tremendous growth, some valued at billions of dollars, and you can get inspired of it. I mean, a lot of we just as we share every day, we see 20 startups growing in this sharing economy in all the fields that I told you about. This platform rely to be efficient. Of course, not all the platforms are really make money or are efficient. You need to have critical size. You need to have trust among all your users, and to have a fluid user experience for a business side. The platform needs to enable value creation, to facilitate the exchange of value, to extract fair value, and you also need, what is very important, to listen to your communities. The communities that is attached to your platform needs to feel comfortable and to trust you. Last but not least, today the old companies and the traditional companies are also switching to the collaborative economy. They see that this paradigm is really completely changing the way we consume and produce and so on. So they are adapting to it. Maïf is a mutual insurance that has partnership with us, with BlaBlaCar, with Polycom, which is also a carpooling platform, and with Guest to Guest, who is basically the same thing that Home Exchange. They are investing in them and creating new insurance products that doesn't exist in order to be the insurance of all these initiatives. You have also SNCF, which is our main train company in France, that seeing BlaBlaCar is the first competitor of SNCF. So SNCF created its own car sharing platform. I don't say that it's working the same way as BlaBlaCar, of course, but they are reacting with a positive innovation to all what's happening. Leroy Merlin is like a Castorama, bricolage. Doing, yeah, I don't. Yeah, company, and they opened a Fab Lab. So they are a traditional company, and you can go in their Fab Lab to have access to their 3D printer, laser cuts, etc. La Poste is also our mail French company, and they allow us to. You can go to any post service and print stuff. And some post offices you can 3D print stuff. So like it's a huge innovation. I'd just like to finish by inviting you all to the OuiShare Fest this year, where you're going to talk about transition and question all this transition we're towarding to beyond the collaborative economy. What is the society we want to have access to? So it's in Paris from 20 to 22nd May. Thank you very much.